Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We were looking at some of the inbuilt functions that are available in list. Today we are going to see the append, insert and extend method or function in list. So let us see them step by step. Talking about the append function. It adds an item to the end of a list. So here on your screen I have taken an empty list. Name L. I have called append function and passed an argument as number 1 and I will be printing the list. The list should now be added with one element. Then I've taken append function with element 2. Now the print function should print on screen a list which contains two elements. First should be 1 and second will be 2 appended at the end. Next I have called append function with a list which have an element 4. That should print a nested list. We should have first two element as 1 and 2 and the next element as 4. Let us see how it works on the Python screen. Let us first have an empty list. In this list, we should call the append function with a single element as 1. And let us now print our list as L. Let us see what we get. Here we get a list with element as 1. Let us now repeat these two steps again. Put the value 2 over here and print. You can see that 2 is appended at the end of the list. Let us now do it again with value 3. And you can see that 3 will be appended at the end. Now, we can call the same function append with some list. And let me have value 4 and 5 in a list. And you can see that the complete list having 4 and 5 as its element is appended at the end. Now why I have taken a list over here and not the values separated by comma? That should indicate that the append function can take exactly one argument, and I have given 2. So remember that it can append a single element at a time. We can also use append function to create list at runtime. In the introduction video, we have created a list at runtime with the help of eval function. Here, we're going to do it with the help of append function, right? So for I in range, let me take a range from 1 to 11 because I want to enter the first 10 natural numbers in my list. I will be calling L dot append and passing I as the parameter. So at one iteration, the value of I will be 1. In second, it will be 2, right? And after that, I have just printed the value of my list. And clearly, it should have 10 elements. Yes, it has 10 natural numbers printed. So that was all with the append function. Now let us see some other functions that are used to increase the elements in our list. The next function is the insert function. Insert inserts the element at a specific position. As you can see that here I have given the index as 1 and the value as a lots of 9. So at index number 1, that is in place of 2, now the value should be these many 9s. Now let us see how this works on the Python screen. Let us have a list with the following elements. Now I want to insert an element at index 1 and the element will be a lots of 9, right? So let me print the value of my list. Let us see what we get. You can see that the list has been shifted one step ahead, and at index number 1, the value that I have provided over here is been added. Let us check this for some other indices. insert. At index 3, I want to add this number. And if you run, you can see that at the third index, the value has been added. So that is how we can add any element on a specified position in our list. One more thing to be noted about insert function is, if the specified index is greater than the max index, then the element will be inserted at the last position. And if the specified index is smaller than the element, will be inserted at the first position. Let us see. As you can clearly see that the total number of elements in my list is 5. So the index will be from 0 to 4. Let me specify an index value which is greater than the total number of elements present in the screen, in the list. That is 100. Clearly, there are not 100 elements in my list, but I want to insert these so many 9s at the index 100. Talking about the index, which is the smallest index. So the smallest index of my list is, let us say, the smallest index of my list should be obviously the negative index, which is talking about -1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, that is -5. Now let me give an index that is -100, which is again not present even if I scan my list from right to left. Let us see what happens. You can clearly see that when the total index is greater than the number of indexes that is present in my list, that is 100, the number is appended at the last. And you can see if the number of index is very less than it is the smallest index which is possible, but it is not even present in my list, then the number is appended at the first position. So that is how the insert function works in Python. The next function that we are going to see is the extend function. This function adds one of the list to the other list. That means it's add the elements of the list. So you can see that on your screen there is a list that is L, which have 4 elements, and the next list is L2, which have 3 elements, and I have extended L with L2. Let us see what it's going to print on your screen. Also, I would like you to try extending a list with strings as well. So let us see how extend function works. Let us have another list which have elements 6, 7 and 8 in it. Right? We want to extend L with L2. And we would like to print the value of L now. And you can see that over here 6, 7 and 8 has been now added into your list. Now let me change the concept of extending a list with a list and giving it certain values. And let us see what happens. And it's definitely giving you an error, which is a type error, and say list.extend take exactly 1 argument. And here we have given the 4 arguments. So that is also working same as the append function, that it takes only 1 argument, right? So what it does, it actually appends the list at the end of all the elements, right? So now what we want to check is, we want to extend a list with a string. So I have taken my name as a string. I want to extend L with S this time, and we'll be printing the value of L. Let us see what we are going to get. So here you can see that it has extended each and every character that is present in your string as the elements, right? So what it did is it bifurcated the list into the elements. It has taken A as a single element, then N, J, A and Li as different elements. So that is how extend function works in Python. So here today we see how we can append a list, how we can insert an element in a specific position, and how we can extend, that is, we can increase the number of elements in a list by extending it which is equal to the another list or to the string also. So that was all in this video. I hope that you learned a little bit through this, and shall be seeing you in the next lecture. Thank you.